Yo, hopefully this shit sounds right because I just changed the way I kind of put my mic and I already recorded a video like this. I should have probably looked at it, but fuck it, I'm recording another one. This one is gonna be, well, it's not gonna be different than my other videos, but it's gonna be a little bit, all my videos are unscripted, but I always think a little bit about the topic before I record. Just I don't know, just okay. This is gonna be kind of the way I'm gonna go. I don't write shit. I don't write anything, and usually, But this time, I just have the topic. So on one hand, might be pretty cool video because I'll be like really authentic, I guess. I'll give my opinion as I go. And yeah, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I don't know where I'm going to go. But yeah, let's begin, I guess. So today I wanted to talk about Molly Santana being on Drake's album. And this is the last time I'm going to talk about it, I swear. Or I don't swear. Well, I do swear. But this is the last time I'm going to, talk about this topic for now. Because I'm kind of beating a dead horse right now. You can watch my reaction to Drake's album. That reaction is kind of ass, but I think I've had a pretty decent reaction to the song with Molly, especially. Okay, I've listened to it more. It's pretty good. I quite like it. Okay, but I didn't want to talk about that. Just I wanted to talk about the fact that a lot of people could be like, yo, who's that? Who's that? Why is she there? A lot of assumptions. A lot of people were like, yo, this a guy or is this a girl? Because I don't know, but I feel like I always kind of felt like her voice was kind of like a female's voice. I never thought that she was a guy. Then again, I think the first time I heard her, I also saw a music video when she was doing promo and shit back in 2022, I think. Might have been 2023. I don't know. But a long time ago, okay? Quite a long time ago. But a lot of people are like, yo, this some industry plant bullshit, this but to me, what I see is motivation, because, okay, for me, she was always one of the best, like that's besides, that she bad, and all that, let's put that aside, okay? Her music is genuinely good. I actually fuck with her music a lot. I listened to her shit, the first time I heard her, and I was like, yo, she's actually pretty good. Then she dropped now you're catching me, a fake fucking fan. Huh? Yeah, I forgot what's the name of the album with she got daggers and shit, and she's I think it's her first album. I'm not sure, I forgot the name of it. But yeah. And I was like, yo, she's really good. Okay, there are a bunch of songs on that album, I think So Right is on there. Now it's her most popular song, apparently. I think it's on TikTok probably, because it used to be Chain Swinging. What Did I Do Today? A bunch of bangers. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I'm that guy that if you ask, Uzi is my favorite artist, but you tell me, yo, tell me 5 Uzi songs right now, and I wouldn't be able to tell you. Even though because I don't know, I just on the spot like that, I can't think, bro. I can't think. Okay, so well, I could probably say 5 Uzi songs in my sleep anytime. You can just yeah, but yeah, I forgot. But it was a good ass album, it was a good as shit. And she never really got her flowers, you know? She, like, it was cool. Like, people were enjoying it, but I don't know, I never saw the hype people, at the same time, people like Osama-san were popping off, and I think Netspend kind of, you know? I'm not super, into these waves though. I'm just, I like a couple of, literally Osama-san, Molly, Che, Until Japan, and that's kind of it. I'm not super, into the new wave, which now is kind of the old wave. Like now, the new wave is like Blood or whatever the name was, Slayer and shit. Anyways, I don't want to talk about underground rap. It's not about that. Even it kind of is. So then she dropped the Molly and her Week of Wonders. I think that's the name of that album. And that album was a bit worse, but it was still pretty good. I think she dropped an EP too, and it was good. Windows Up was also like a theme song for, I was like in Italy, and I was pumping that shit so fucking much because she dropped it when I was there. And I don't know, that shit was nice. But yeah, and she never really got her flowers, Unlike people that were kind of dropping 2 songs and all of a sudden there were big as fuck on TikTok and shit. She never really, got her flowers. It reminds me of old Destroy Lonely. That's kind of how he was too. But before No Stylist, he was like that underrated as guy because he really didn't have no hits. And can too, to an extent. But look, when you grind in silence, she was grinding in silence, Like I actually really like the way she came up with promo and shit. I think that's another underrated way to blow up, to be honest. And it makes me think that I can do it, because it's really not about being lucky no more. It's just make good songs and then buy a bunch of promo and then you blow up. That's what she did. So in that sense, I fuck with it. Her marketing, like shit, that was like tough. She was like, okay, now I'm ready, and now I'm gonna spam all these pages. Yeah, but she grinded in silence a lot, and not really many features, no nothing. And she did build a following, she got some songs viral, I think. And she did build a following. She, obviously got quite a bit of money too, performing at Rolling Loud and shit. But the thing is, she then, because I looked at it and apparently she like Drake called her just randomly. And he was like, yo, how much for a feature? And she was like, if I had to charge, I guess 100K. And he was like, nah, it's gotta be at least 500K. I don't know. I think it's funny. It was a great moment for him. It's like he paid her to be on his album. Her, which is like she, which is like a nobody really. And she got $500,000 and she got on Drake's album, so it's like whoa, all of a sudden, she, and that's what it is, because when you start something, the thing is, it's not like, okay, I made X amount of money this month. Next month, I'm gonna make like 10% more, or 20% more, or 30% more, or even twice as much, or whatever. It's not like you have a fucking job and you need to get a promotion, and the promotion is really only so much they can give you. It's like when you have a business, you can skyrocket your shit. And it's like a lot of people will be like, oh, she got lucky. She grinded from nowhere. I think I talked about this in my other video about that you cannot just get lucky. That video might be deleted. I'm not sure. I genuinely can't really tell. But I basically talked about Baby Santana and how you build your luck yourself. Like, you know, sure, he got lucky that he blew up at 14, but then again, he grinded at 14, which you weren't, you know? So, okay, who's got the better chance of blowing up? The one who's making music or the one who's just playing Fortnite? You know what I mean? So, yeah, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, she got lucky, she got this, she got that. You know, Drake fucked her, and shit. I think it's funny, motherfuckers were like, with Drake, it's always a price to pay. That motherfucker can never fucking win. But that fucking tweet was so funny to me. Like, with Drake, there is always a price to pay. Even, you know, if she got money, there's always a price to pay with Drake. And that shit was so funny to me because it's like, no, bro, can he be a fucking good ass dude sometimes? Like, I'll do the same if I was in Drake's position. And I was like, shit, I like this fucking rapper. Let me blow him up, you know? In this case, her. But yeah. And that was funny to me. But no, she did not get lucky. You know, she genuinely grinded. She made music. She got to a point where she was visible, okay, to Drake. Because you think these other rappers don't see, you know, rappers, it's their job, you know, they see, they're tapped into the underground. It's not like these celebrities or whatever are oblivious to everything that's going on in the world. Especially like if you're a rapper, you're gonna know the underground rappers. You have to know them because they're the next wave. They're the next, you know, and especially Drake, because you know, some would say that he copies a lot of flows and shit. Okay, I don't care about that drama. Drake makes good music. I do think he kind of copied God's plan from X. I also low-key kind of believe the story of that he killed him. And that's a little I'm not sure, to be honest. If I actually knew he killed him, I wouldn't listen to him, you know? But I don't know. It's a little scuffed. I'm kind of 50-50 on that, to be honest. Well, I would probably still listen to him because, like, you know, you differentiate the art from the artist. You know what I'm saying? Drake's got some banger ass songs that I'm gonna listen to my whole life. You know, whatever the fuck he does in the future, whatever the fuck he did in the past. It's always funny to me, like, you really didn't like the music if you just stop listening to someone because they got allegations or some shit. Maybe that makes you not want to tap into somebody, but listening to them and then, oh, this guy acts like this, let me go in my playlist and remove 30 fucking songs, you know? Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Maybe unless it's like something very fucking crazy that you can't even, like, you just hear their voice and you think about that shit, you know? Like, if Epstein was making music, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if he was like, imagine if Epstein was Drake, that, yeah, maybe, okay? Well, some people don't think that's too far off. But yeah, so Molly really didn't get lucky, okay? She got a big ass following to the point that Drake could see her, okay? Drake could see her. She had what, like 500k monthly listeners on Spotify. That's quite a lot, okay? Drake, could easily see her. It's not like somebody picked her out and showed Drake. No, bro, Drake probably listens to a lot of music himself, because, like I said, you have to know. If you're an actor, you're gonna have to know the, upcoming fucking actors or whatever. If you're a Twitch streamer, you're gonna have to know, like, you're gonna have to study, study from not only the greats, but also the people that are coming up. And that's how, what I'm saying. That's how it is. They're the most tapped in because it's their fucking job to be tapped in. Okay? So Drake definitely knew her. So, and he probably genuinely liked her music and was like, yo. She might have been thinking what I was thinking. Like, yo, she never really got her flowers like that. Mainly because she refused to do features. Or not really refused, but... Well, I guess she did refuse because, probably a lot of people try to get a feature from her or get featured on her album. And I think she only got a feature from, like, Che, if I'm not mistaken. Yo, I sound like a fucking dork talking about these underground rappers. Yo, this is some unemployed ass shit. But at least, I don't know, that's how But I guess these people are not even that, like, unknown anymore. Because, I want to talk about this in another video too, like the fact that underground is kind of mainstream. I'm not talking about just music, I'm talking about in general. It's mainstream to be niche. It's kind of, it doesn't make sense. It's like a fucking paradox, if that's the way you use that word. But yeah. Anyways, so Molly never really got her flowers, and Rick was probably like, yo, fuck it, let me blow her up. Maybe we need some female rappers in the game. Maybe, what I'm saying? He might have thought that. It's like, fuck it. Drake effect. And here's what I was getting at. She was making, I don't know, I'm not sure how she was making. I'm not pocket watching, okay? But she was making decent money, okay? She was making good money, I couldn't fucking tell you a ballpark because I genuinely don't know. I think she's independent, so she probably, if she is independent, then she probably really is really making a lot of money. But yeah, whatever. So she was making X amount of money, and then she got featured on this Drake album, and her monthly listeners, I think she was at like 11 mil last time I checked. So was that like 22 times as much? It's probably really going to be like maybe like 15 mil by the end of the week. So that's 30 times. And no, her revenue didn't increase 30 times. And it's going to go down. Her monthly listeners are going to go down because the hype for the album is going to go down. And plus, not every... She got such a boost because everybody's listening to the album, but not everybody's necessarily clicking on her page, and listening to her songs and becoming fans. But still, she got a crazy ass fucking lead magnet, okay? She got a short verse and a pretty good one at that. So that, she doesn't annoy the people that... I think that's a crazy good strategy, actually. Like, if Drake features you on their songs, or, whatever, someone popular, I think it's a good strategy. Because a lot of people would be like, oh, let me make the hook, let me have a long ass verse, let me, show my whole pocket or whatever. And because Drake would have probably let her do that, because or her do that. My English is kind of broken sometimes, but because it doesn't make sense for him to be like, "Yo, jump on my song." I'll give you half a meal. I'll fly you out. Jump on my song, and then he'll be like, "No. You're gonna just be 2 minutes into the song and just a 30-second verse, and the rest of the song is just me and Future." Drake definitely did not say that. Okay, he probably let her have the freedom, but she was like, "Yo, it's better for me to just give them a little snippet so that the people that don't actually like my music will keep listening to this song and I'll get the streams, okay? Because she will also make a lot of money from just this song. It's gonna go platinum and yeah, probably, soon, I guess, because I think like every Drake song is like platinum now or whatever, So Molly kind of, this song is definitely going platinum at some point, okay? So Molly got a platinum song, secured. And with her having such a short verse, the people that don't like their music, don't like her music, can be like, "Yo, okay, it's fine. It's just 40 seconds." It's like it doesn't ruin the song for them, or like they skip the song at that part. I already listened to the 2 minutes. But a lot of people would be like, and the people that like their music, that like her music, I don't know why I keep saying there, but the people that like her music are gonna be like, "Yo, who this?" And they're gonna go on her profile and listen more. It's really only annoying for the already Molly fans like myself. It's like, damn, I wish I heard more of her because I already, know her other songs. But it's not a huge problem. It's just one song. But a lot of people, artists, would be like, "Yo, I'm gonna show my pocket. I'm gonna do the hook. I'm gonna do the verse. I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go for 2 minutes before Drake comes in." That's a bad idea because then people would listen to the song because it's Drake. Then they will find out that you did everything and Drake just came in at the end, and they'll probably not listen to that song again, And that fucks you up. And it's like, damn, I want to show myself. But when you just have a little short verse, you can have also recurring revenue because it's like people will listen to that shit for life, because it's Drake. Like, for example, Blockboy JB, she had Look Alive with Drake, right? And Drake's verse was crazy. And that guy is just printing money every month from that song. I don't know how much he's making. Again, I'm just completely clueless to how money is being made in the music industry, to how, if I get X amount of streams, I get X amount of money. I generally don't know. But I know he's printing quite a bit passively, okay? So, shit, he might even have just be set for life just for having been a feature that actually was bad too, but because it was short, nobody really cares. And people listen to the song regardless. And it's the same thing Molly did, okay? So that's for the genius of her verse. I don't know if she thought that through that much, but I think she did it very well. But also the fact, I wanted to talk about the fact that, see, revenue is not just, "Oh, okay, I'll make 20% more this month." Nah, it's like you make some, a certain amount of money this month, and then all of a sudden you blow the fuck up. And people are like, "Yo, he blew up overnight, he got lucky, he got this, he got that." But they don't see the all the time they spent or not blowing up. And even if a rapper blows up quick, for example, like the second song, number one, you have to maintain that. So you have to have skills to maintain that, okay? And number two, it's most likely they didn't even come out of the womb and start singing like "Party Girl, she just want fuck." I don't remember. That Party Girl song. It was like his first song, I think. Oh, I might be tripping. I might be completely wrong. But it's not like they just came out of the womb and started doing that shit, and they got lucky and blew the fuck up, and now they're set for life. No. People see that, yes, because people see that. Because if you look at Molly's discography, it's like, okay, she got like 3 albums, she blew up kind of quick, then she got a Drake feature. Oh my god, why can't I, because I know if I made 20 albums, nobody would listen to them. Yeah, but you don't know the unreleased music she has, you don't know what she did before, okay? Like, the skills that she learned, for example, before this, because one thing is to start being a rapper at 14 as your first like business. Another thing is like start being a rapper like, I don't know, say 20, after you failed a couple of businesses. It's a difference because every failure makes you better in some way, even if it doesn't what's the word I'm looking for? Doesn't fuck. What's the? You know what I mean? It doesn't like interchange, kind of. Even if it's not the same thing. Like, okay, let's talk about this. So, I think I said this before, but I used to edit videos, okay? And now I don't anymore. And a lot of people would be like, yo, a lot of my homies were saying like, yo, you kind of wasted your time, no? Like, you spent a whole summer, learning how to edit videos. You edited videos. Yeah, you made some money, but like, wouldn't it have been better to like work at fucking McDonald's? Because in reality, I worked for like so fucking long, and I only made like what 3K or something like that across like a year. I didn't work every day 12 hours a day, but still I worked quite a lot. Okay, so a lot of people could be like, yo, couldn't you just get a part-time job or whatever? And it's like, now you quit and it doesn't help you at all. But that's false because on everything I do, well, not everything I do, but I learned a bunch of skills. Video editing, I learned to talk to clients, I learned that's besides all of that shit, I learned the actual Premiere Pro and how to edit a video, the concrete skill. Okay, so when you learn a skill, it's like you got the concrete skill, and then you got like the skills surrounding it that you don't really think about, that you learned. But yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I also learned how to, talk to people on that app or whatever, to reach out to, craft a message, reach back out, I don't know, deal with clients, But I think a lot of people know that, like, that helps you, okay? But I'm also talking about the concrete skill. Because even the concrete skill, like, do I really need to know all the ins and outs of After Effects and how to make crazy ass music videos with effects and rotoscoping and all that shit? Well, no, because now I kind of just use it to post videos. I just kind of edit maybe the audio a little bit, trim maybe the beginning or the end. I don't even like trim the middle because I usually don't have to. When I get to talking, I kind of talk. And I do pauses, I pause, but I think that's only natural, So it's you get a lot of surrounding skills, not only that, but also the concrete skill. It's like, well, I'm fucking confident as fuck in Premiere Pro, okay? If I, suddenly click on something, I'm like, okay, I know what to do. If I get the problem, I know what to do. If I, what I'm saying? Or even if I feel like, who knows? I got hopefully a long life ahead of me. And I might need at some point to rotoscope some shit to, like, I use Photoshop all the time, even though I don't really do thumbnails anymore, but that helped me a lot. And I use Premiere all the time too. Even though for the most part I do simple stuff, still just me being super confident that software is like, sometimes I might do more complicated stuff just because, or you never know when you want to color grade something, and I prefer color grading Premiere rather than Photoshop. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that, okay, me knowing how to use this, me having learned to edit for a bunch of years, for a lot of people will be like, okay, it didn't serve no purpose. But then if I start like another business and, I make money fast, they're going to be like, oh, you're lucky. Well, first of all, I failed at editing for so long. And second of all, I gained a bunch of skills from editing. And that's just one skill, like one kind of a venture I had. Okay. I got more ventures, So you add everything together, and it's like, that's why they say that after like the 7th business or 8th business, it's like you got a 90% chance of succeeding. Even though it's something completely different, you learn so many skills across all these business that you end up just having so many skills that, so many overlapping skills that, because it's really not really a business that is just that doesn't really exist anymore. It's not, you cannot just sing in the street and become famous. You need to know how to market, all that, So, yeah, it's not like every business you try, even if you fail it, it's going to help in the future. Even though you might not think that you learned anything right now. Even like, I don't know, creating a fucking website, you got to plug that domain in, you got to, it's skills that are easier, at least make your life easier, in the next business. It's not, I'm not saying that if you know how to make a website, you can also make money from it, but at least you won't spend like the whole day trying to figure that shit out. You'll do it in like 5 minutes, So, yeah, you don't know what Molly did before, And I'm not super tapped in with her, but I think she was like transcribing Lil Uzi's songs in Japanese, I think. And she heard like 20 minutes. So she was one of the first people that heard 20 minutes because she got it early or some shit like that. I might be totally wrong, but I think it's something like that. So, yeah, she was in this kind of wave for a while, and it's like, she was surrounded by music. That might make her sing well. Her mom was a businesswoman, or whatever. I don't know that. But then she probably learned from her some business tricks, And Yeah, it's always luck. She got luckier than others, but she also had it worse than others, okay? What I'm saying is that she didn't came out, oh, you know what I'm saying, oh, she was born to have a fucking Drake feature. No, you know, she tried, fucked around, failed, then made a good wave for herself, and then someone scooped her up and was like, yo, I'm gonna put you on. And that's the thing. It's like, she was career, I don't want to say 30 times X or whatever. How much did I calculate? Well, like 22X. No, her career didn't really 22X. Okay, but career did like 5X, I think, maybe. As you know, even a 2X is insane. You know, so yeah, it puts shit in perspective. It's like, you work for so long, and in this case, she was already making money, but that's kind of how it goes with everything, right? You make nothing, and then all of a sudden you make so much, and people are like, "Oh, you got lucky. You got lucky. You didn't try." But it's like, nah, I was working for 3 fucking years. What are you talking about? You know? But yeah, people only seem to notice you when you blow up, and then they go back into your discography and shit, and are like, "Oh, but that shit was not that hard. Come on." Oh, this YouTuber blew up, but he only had like 60 videos. Well, you don't take into account that the videos he deleted, the videos, the channels he had previously, the things he learned along the way, and also the fact that, you know, even 60 videos is a lot. Like, the whole like, oh, if I knew I was getting rich, I would do 60 videos too, you know, but yeah, that's the thing. You don't know if you're going to get rich, and you never made 60 YouTube videos, okay? Or at least 60 high quality YouTube videos, you know? So, yeah, because I see sometimes YouTubers, they're like, they got like 40K subs and they got like 3-5 videos, and I'm like, yo, they got lucky. But in reality, no, they probably had more channels, they probably got built a lot of skills, and the video was generally good. I never made a video that good, you know, because I prefer to spam them, and you know, because I think I talked about that, you know, the content creation video, but just because the video is appealing, just because it looks good and shit, like I prefer to like kind of give value, but then again, my main focus on this channel is myself, you know. Like I said, these are my just raw thoughts, and I'll just continue to get better, and I'll talk about different things because I grow, you know, I grow as a person, and in time I'll talk about other things. Right now, I talked about Molly Santana. In 10 years, I'm most likely not going to talk about her unless she becomes a fucking superstar, and even then, you know, I don't know if I'm going to talk about her because I might not be interested in music. Or, you know, I'll probably always be interested in music, but maybe not interested in talking about it. But yeah, you know, so you change with that. I don't know why I got to talking about this, but yeah. So Molly really didn't get lucky from this, and to me, it's inspiring to see the fact that, you know, someone I used to, you know, consider that she never got her flowers to suddenly blow up, suddenly, quote, you know, because that's how it is. No, this shit was built before, you know, the groundworks, you know, the seeds were planted. And people don't see the time that you water the seeds, the time that you know what I'm saying? They only see when the big ass tree fucking spurges out of the fucking ground, and then you're like, whoa, this shit came out today. Bro, I've been watering this shit for like 3 years, bro. You know, but yeah, that's kind of how it is with everything. And yeah, I think she'll go get quite a lot of accusations and shit. But yeah, I think her trajectory is going pretty well. You know, This is not a channel about covering like rap or I just wanted to talk about this because I think it's a good motivation. It's like yeah. Even though she was already making money, like I said, it's the same thing with making money and not making money. You know, you don't make money, you don't make money, you don't make money, don't, and then all of a sudden, oh shit! Now I'm making. Now all these bitches on my dick. It's the same thing with girls. It's like, damn, I can't pull shit, and now I can pull everybody. Or every girl. I mean, right? So it's the same shit. It's like, with the gym too. You go to the gym. The first day you go to the gym, nobody notices the next day that you went to the gym. Nobody's like, yo, did you go to the gym yesterday? Nobody's going. But then when they see you, when they don't see you for like a month, something, you're like, damn, you're kind of buff. What? Or maybe if they see you every day, they're gonna be like, one day, you're kind of buff. What? Huh? You've been taking the secret sauce. You've been, and it's like, oh, he probably got genetics. He probably, so. But yeah, it's not luck. It's just people don't see. When you grind and you fail, and then you grind again, and then you fail again. All these failures lead to you just being better at whatever you want to do. And I think I'm gonna live with that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna live with that. So hopefully I said everything that needed to be said today. I'm probably not. I'm probably gonna remember in like 10 minutes. Yo, I should have talked about that as well. Well, I didn't. I forgot to talk about that. Damn. Well, then again, I didn't have a single plan when I started this video, so I ended up here. Okay, so I think that's the beauty with this channel, is that you can see me go from nothing to something, and I'm not the wisest, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the richest, far from it. I'm kind of broke right now, but I grow, and hopefully you can see this growth, and hopefully, you can grow with me, and yeah, let's all become the best version of ourselves, and I'm gonna leave you with that, okay?